Okay, this is my Ford GPA, and I've had it for quite a while, and I still haven't had a chance to water test it. Um, I kind of balked at just putting it in the bathtub, so I went ahead and I went down to Walmart, and for a little under 20 bucks, I got this 5.5 foot inflatable kiddie pool, and I just hooked together a couple pieces of board. All I'm really looking for in this test is to just make sure that it can climb the incline and make sure it can get itself out of the water. So it's a very sharp angle at the top. So I'm going to drive it up the ramp and then I'll lift it into the pool itself. But I just want to make sure it's going to handle this incline okay. And I've tested it once already, so I know everything's good. And it goes up the incline with no problem. I'll now drop it in the pool, and I've noticed that it's got a sorry about that, guys, hope nobody got seasick. I've noticed that it's got a pretty wide turning radius. In fact, the turning radius is probably just a little bit bigger than the diameter of this swimming pool. And the reason I'm going to set it down into the water is because if I run it down an angle that steep, it likes to dunk the whole front end before it goes in, and I didn't want to do that. But it does run pretty good. And right now it'd be just with the tires. Then you hit the button on the transmitter, and that gives you your propeller. And it does seem to work pretty good, and the rudder works well and everything. And like I said, it's got a very, very wide turning radius. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it to go up this ramp or not. We'll give it a try. With such a wide turning radius, it can be rather difficult to Alright, let's try something different. See if we can back up. The trick is, I think, to get it up to the ramp and then switch over to the wheels right before it touches. Now, it will move a little bit forward with just the wheels as it's doing now. And then when they hit the wood, she comes right up. And that's a pretty steep angle she's coming out of there. In fact, it's so steep that it won't sit on it without trying to run back down. But she comes out of the water on her own. And she'll catch and go up that incline, which is really all we were looking for with this test right here. And she climbs right out. So that's the Toro GPA water test. Like I said, I didn't want to put it in the bathtub, so I bought this little kiddie pool. And after this test, I figure I'll take the pool. We got some neighborhood kids. I'll give it to them, and that'll be good for my karma too. So I got my GPA tested, and I also got a little good hit for my karma. So that's the Ford GPA. Everything works fine. She runs just great. Like I said, she's got a pretty wide turning radius, but in a larger area than this little 5-foot pool, I think she'd do pretty good. It's not perfect, but you know, what do you want from a 1/16 scale model, right? You know, and I did flat coat that after I put all the decals on, so hopefully that'll keep them from wanting to lift off from the moisture. You got to be careful with decals; they can be very sensitive sometimes. But like I said, this has been flat coated, so I'm not too worried about it peeling off. She doesn't float quite exactly level. I think that's because of some of the stuff I've got in there for stowage, but it's close enough for the girls we go out with. So there she is, the Ford GPA. She's now been thoroughly water tested. Now I picked this up, they had them on sale at Motion RC for $130. So I grabbed one, and I told a buddy of mine in Colorado about them, and he grabbed one too. And you got to watch Motion RC. A lot of times they'll have stuff that's like slightly damaged, and it'll have a significant discount to it. I'm waiting to get a good price on the Schwimmwagen, and then I'll get one of those too. Later on today, I think I'm gonna bring my Yag Tiger out. We're still working on selling the last of the IBU2 boards, the green boards, the new old stock. I'm down to just 3 Pro boards left, and I did keep several of the base for myself as well as 2 Pro. So the base units that I kept, 2 of those will be going in a JS2 and a King Tiger, which are both IR battle tanks. And that way I'll be able to test them against each other and battle them against each other and all that stuff. But that'll be later on. And you know me, I got so many damn projects on the future. You never, or on the shelf, you never can tell when I'm going to get around to whatever, you know. But I think today's test was pretty good. She floats, she runs, she turns, she switches back and forth from tires to prop with no problem. And that's really all we were looking for today. So that's it for now. We'll see you next time.